It is my pleasure to introduce Michael Hain, who was awarded the highest performing chapter member for the last financial year. The only member to achieve a perfect 100 traffic light points for the entire 12 months. What makes this even more impressive is that Michael maintained that record despite facing health challenges. Supported by his substitutes every week for 6 months, a real example of the power of teamwork and cross-chapter collaboration. Today, Michael will share how a power team works, how it differs from a contact sphere, and why building stronger power team relationships is one of the smartest ways to grow your business through BNI. Please join me in welcoming Michael and his power team. Thank you.
Hello everybody, welcome to our Power Team Visitors Day, where we are going to explain, as Melissa said, the power of power teams, where together everyone achieves more. Let's look at the power of BNI first of all, compared with other networking groups. I've been networking for 25 years, ever since I started business. In fact, I built my business on word-of-mouth referrals, and I found that before I joined BNI, I did business with members of other networking groups, but I was rarely introduced to a client of another member. When I joined BNI 6.5 years ago, I was sceptical of having my key performance indicators tracked. I'm sure a few of you feel that way. But I quickly found that this encouraged me not only to refer myself to other members and vice versa, but it encouraged me to refer my clients to other members and vice versa. The power of one, which is a fundamental basis in BNI of weekly meeting, weekly one-to-one, weekly referral, weekly CEU and monthly visitor, is not relevant in other networking groups because they don't track their KPI. In other social networking groups, you do business with each other, but in BNI you are professional and do business with each other's clients. The power of BNI is the trusted partnership with other members, but it's much more than just a strategic alliance. A power team is a group of BNI members who collaborate to win business, work together on projects, provide a constant stream of hot referrals to each other, on a silver platter, mind you, because they already are introduced to you and trusted, and support each other with a giver's gain philosophy. Members may not be within the same chapter or contact sphere. Contact spheres are groups of people who share a similar contact base, customer base, where referrals can more easily be passed on in a customer journey. For example, property, marketing, health, law. If someone's buying a property, then it continues through the contact sphere. So what's the difference between a power team and a contact sphere? A power team meets regularly, sets goals, tracks results, and monitors progress. Power team members develop a strong understanding with each other, building trust and understanding of each other's businesses as they commit to regularly and consistently refer business to each other. Loyalty is developed and leads to a culture of giver's gain and support, with thank you for closed business growing exponentially. There is no obligation to refer in a contact sphere. It is a group of people who share a similar customer base where referrals can more easily be passed on in a customer journey, with the potential or opportunity to refer, but there is no commitment to refer. Still a little bit confused? Think of yourself as a mouse on a treadmill, running consistently, going through every week motions of conducting business, attending BNI, meeting one-to-ones, exchanging a referral when you can. Now add a steroid into the mix and ramp up the connections to people with businesses that align well with yours. Make a concerted effort to seek these people out and really work together with gusto. Collaborate and introduce them to your contacts so your referrals are intentional and of mutual benefit. Now you're striving for momentum and training for a marathon with a team backing you. That's what a power team is all about. Dr. Ivan Meisner BNI founder sums it up by saying, your contact sphere is the possible professions you can team up with, while your power team is the group you have actually teamed up with. BNI statistically measures 67% of referrals coming from your power team. So how do you build a power team? First, you book regular one-to-ones to understand each other's values, priorities, approach to customers, ethics, etc. Your relationship strengthens as you refer to each other and you build trust and loyalty. Your power team builds as you work together collaboratively and you track your results. I'd like to introduce you to my power team at this chapter. Come on up here, guys. Bruce is our financial advisor. Annette is our wills and estates lawyer. Rob is our commercial lawyer. Unfortunately, Rob couldn't be here today, but he's well represented. I'll speak on his behalf. And Rob is and my wife and I sleep every night on Jim's mattress and pillows. Thank you, Jim. We sleep soundly with Jim. In turn, we secure their properties and those of their referrals, and they each continue to refer me to ongoing monitoring service agreements that generates income every month. None of these 4 BNI Referral Exchange members are in my contact sphere. They're not electricians, they're not security people, but they are my key partners at this chapter. Bruce, please take the microphone.
I'm going to tell you a small story about becoming a client of Michael's, I guess. In November 2020, my office was broken into. They just ransacked the joint. There was nothing really to steal. Of course, I called Michael as soon as the police had sorted out their stuff. A few months passed and we started doing some renovations at the family home. Our neighbour had a heated fight with our builders and I called Michael straight away and said, it's fine, we've got to get these cameras in. A few weeks passed and there was an incident out the front of our house. Straight onto the cameras showed our neighbour wandering around the front of our house, walking down the street, getting his car, coming back up and ramming the builder's trailer that was out the front. Thankfully all caught on camera. In following up and going, well, where the hell else has this guy been? Found him, the cameras at the back, then he jumped over the fence, walked across the half-built pool, up onto the deck where my now ex-wife was sitting on the couch just metres away. Evidence delivered to the police, charged, intervention orders taken out, charged and convicted of a few things. The cameras at the office are also a wonderful resource for police, particularly police, who often come past and say, there was something happening out here, did your cameras potentially catch it? So I certainly feel more able to sleep at night and have the peace of mind that Michael talks about. It's also wonderful on the other side to be able to assist Michael and his lovely wife Miriam with their superannuation. So yeah, great opportunity to have been working with Michael for the last 5 or so years.
Hi everyone. So as a member of Power Team with Michael, the real benefit means to be able to know that a referral to him is to a person that I know, like and trust. This means knowing that Michael is an expert in his field, he's someone that I can trust to uphold the BNI code of ethics, and is obviously someone that I like. Having known Michael for many years, being in the chapter together for many years, he's someone that is front of mind when considering securing needs for clients that have asked me, or if it comes up in conversation with friends or family. In turn, Michael's also been someone who's able to refer to me, him personally, through the giver's gain mentality. Although not everyone knows someone that needs a will, he himself was able to refer himself to me, and I was able to help him and his wife before Christmas last year. And on a much broader range, I've had the pleasure of seeing Michael and his business grow. Michael, for those members who have been here for a long time, would have heard the amount of security contracts that we have, and each time it getting bigger and bigger. So we can see that his business thrives with being in BNI, and obviously BNI is, our chapter is one of many chapters throughout the region of Melbourne Central, but also other regions in parts of Melbourne. So that's all I have to say, thank you.
As I said, Rob unfortunately couldn't be here, he had a last minute emergency, but I just wanted to make mention that our businesses work together regardless of whether we are personally in the room. Isabella and Ming representing him are great members of his team with whom I've built a great working relationship. Jim?
Thank you, Michael. Obviously, we're not the most obvious connectors, say, in a power sphere perspective. If I say on a personal level, Michael's about safety in your home, in your business, and health is one of those things that's very private for most people. So before, like I mentioned earlier, trust, before there's credibility, I think you've got to feel safe, and I've been honoured to do that with different members, whether it's been in the room, let's say for chiropractic and the bedding products, and then the greatest safety is, say, the mental health and the community and supporting someone like Scott Carson. But one thing I wanted to mention about Michael, there's the rule of BNI in the room, where for me, when I think, because I don't have a lot of people health around me, I look at how do I offer the value of what I do to make it valuable in your life, and then those things align. And I think Michael's been able to achieve that. I've done it somewhat, doing charity stuff within BNI to support other members, but Michael's done that on a bigger scale. So you go, this is your home, this is your chapter, but he's gone out to the community where he started off at, 10 people being under contract, under your the agreement security, to like 80 plus. And one thing I wanted to mention is my business went from me and a massage therapist at Bridge Street, which burned down, to where I am now 9 years, and at the beautiful 55 Rail Street, and Bruce. I don't mention that enough, where I need to have security because there's like 7 people in the building. Thanks.
So here's the results of me putting this together. This is something that you can also do. Security Heroes was created with a customer-focused core value after I built the largest franchise of the 4th largest home security firm in Australia. That growth then plateaued for 9 years. You can see it's not growing for 9 years, until I joined BNI in May 2019, and look at our growth since. You hear every week how I'm accumulating ongoing monitoring service agreements, as Annette said, sourced from BNI, now with 85 within 6 years. That actually makes up 30% of my overall agreements, built up over 15 years. And a third of these are from Referral Exchange, this chapter, but 2/3, as Jim said, are actually from BNI chapters around Melbourne Central. This is despite natural loss, as you might expect, to customers dying or selling, although I turn many of these into opportunities by converting a request for cancellation into referrals to the new occupants. On top of this, I also receive substantial referrals for many non-recurring sales and services, some worth tens of thousands of dollars. So I want to thank you all for being here, and I want to recognise my referral partners at other chapters. I'm not going to name you all, some of whom are here today, together with some of my supporters who subbed for me when I needed them. My extended power team consists of BNI members throughout Melbourne Central, and I absolutely encourage everyone to go visit other chapters, follow up with one-to-ones to those you connect with, and partner with those who share your values to form a power team where you too can collaborate to win business, work together on projects, provide a constant stream of hot referrals to each other, and support each other with a giver's gain philosophy. Thank you very much.